The first ever East African Symposium on Disability Inclusion has been hosted in Chambogo University, Uganda.
How do we make sure that all the other universities take on the mantle? How do we make sure that these students also go in the different, because Chambogo cannot manage everybody.
The conference was hosted under the theme Universities of All and for All, Innovative and Transformative Strategies for Disability Inclusion in Higher Education. The aim was to provide a platform for stakeholders and persons with disabilities to engage in discussions on shaping disability inclusion in higher education across the region.
Evidence and experience tells us that persons with disabilities are the most likely never to go to school. They are the most likely to drop out of school. The school systems is not responsive to enable them to achieve and complete education.
It also aimed at reviving the defunct East African linkage on inclusive education, transforming it into a platform for ongoing engagement, networking, advocacy, and the dissemination of disability-inclusive research within the region.
We are not saying persons with disabilities should have a different curriculum. Curriculum is the same, but what we now need to do is to make sure that teachers are capacitated to do what I call curriculum differentiation, to know how now we can adapt the curriculum in order to suit or fit the needs of every learner.
During the symposium, universities were tasked to give priority to students living with disabilities while giving out study opportunities and enhancing the political will for inclusive education. The Chief Executive Officer, Nudepu Esther Chozira, called on government to make fulfillments on promoting inclusive education and increasing enrollment of PWDs.
A university that is receiving applications of learners with disabilities is overwhelmed with numbers, but majority are left without opportunities, and many of them end up in private institutions and others stay at home because they cannot afford the costs for the private institutions.
The same Minister for Higher Education, Dr. Muyingo, noted that government through Ministry of Education is working towards ensuring that people with special needs have equitable access to quality education at all levels. He noted that measures are being put in place to increase enrollment of PWD students under government sponsorship.
We are also coming up with a law, again, to facilitate, to enable all our children, including those with disabilities, acquire quality education and serve the country.
East and South Africa still have the lowest primary and secondary education completion rates of children with disabilities due to inherent barriers. The symposium held at Chambogo University brought together 241 students living with disabilities, stakeholders in the education and other key sectors. Susan Naung and Andrew Sebira reporting for EBC TV.